welcome to Board with Video Games, the gaming podcast that strives for the right balance of coverage for games you play at your table and on your television. We're a proud member of the PSVG Podcast Network and thrilled to be part of the Dice Tower Network as well. I'm one of your hosts, Kyle Hyman, and joining me on this co-op adventure, the guy who is my favorite co-host of the year, Josh Borboni. How are we doing this fine Monday evening for us?
Monday. Well, first of all, even though I was the only co-host this year, I'm still honored to have that title. So I'm happy with that. And you,
I mean, it would be saying
me.
something if you were not my favorite co-host.
That would be bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be bad. That would be bad. I'm okay. I'm all right.
So
how are you?
Josh, it's been a weird end of the year, that's for sure. So what I figured is we change things up as we're going to talk about our favorite video games of the year. But I do want to start with looking forward, if you would,
Sure.
a little bit, and this is like a little bit of a prelude of maybe what's to come. But in PSVG land, they do Fantasy Critic every year, right?
Yes.
And this year's Fantasy Critic, it went fine. I had some high highs and some low lows. So overall, my team did fine. I finished middle of the pack, right? Nothing too crazy. They did the draft for the next year on Sunday.
Okay.
So it happened yesterday, the draft. And keeping in mind, let me see here. 1, 2, 9, 10, 11. Is it really 13 games that we picked? Goodness gracious. Yeah, 13 games. Okay. So our total roster of games at the end is 13, but that includes like picking like one expansion, which every year has absolutely screwed me. I pick the worst expansions every year. But then there's also some, rules around like you have to have a certain number of like new game franchises, and you kind of like one flex pick for like remakes and remasters and things like that. But, for the draft, you have to pick 5 games for the draft. Now keep in mind, there are 12 teams playing, Josh. 12 people in this league, which means for the draft, it was 60 games got drafted.
That's crazy.
Can you name 60 games coming out next year?
I can name 6.
But we also have to get to 13 total. So I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, pickups and things like that for the year are gonna be rough. But Josh, I want to share with you my current roster of games.
Yeah.
And I want to have you tell me how, like, of the 12, what place do you figure I'm going to, position I'm going to end up in based off just my starting games? Obviously, there's time, to pick up a lot more. But out of my 5 starting games, where do you think I'm going to end up, Josh? So here are my 5 games that got picked up. I had to set up auto draft. So I was not actually at the draft. I kind of ranked my games, and then it just auto drafted for me. But again, once you realize, like, once you have 12 people, how quickly kind of some of those really top like level games go. Yeah. So my 5 games are Super Meat Boy 3D.
Okay.
Planet of Lana 2.
All right.
Cairn.
Sure. Yeah.
Mixtape.
Yeah.
And Trails in the Sky second chapter.
Oh, okay. That's one I don't know of.
Yeah. I mean, I had Trails in the Sky first chapter this year, and it scored a 90.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, so I was like, well, hopefully,
if JRPG or something.
Yeah, it's a JRPG. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So like if precedence, is what we're looking forward to. So knowing that, now you obviously no big hitters there, right? Like none of the.
But you might have some sleepers though.
Yeah,
Planet
but
of
like
Lana, right?
Planet of Lana. Yep. And the first one didn't actually score that high. Like people really liked it, but it didn't actually score all of that well.
Yeah, but now they have more money and maybe they made it better.
More time, sophomore. But no Forza Horizon, no Fable, no Grand Theft Auto for me. No, like, people are out here picking like the unannounced mainline 3D Mario platformer that you can just like pick. No Resident Evil Requiem, no Marvel Tokon. I didn't get Fire Emblem. Like I didn't get a lot of like the big hitters, that people were going for. So no Marvel's Wolverine, no Control Resonant.
Sure.
So how am I sitting, Josh? Am I already screwed, or is I maybe going to be sneaky good potentially?
I think every big budget game you just listed always has the potential to be a 70. Always. You never know. And Wolverine is probably going to be middling because some people are going to hate it because of the violence and the blood.
Sure.
So I think you're good. I think you're okay. I think you got 2 strong picks right out the gate that you listed. I think Mixtape is a mixed bag.
Yeah, we'll see. I
if it even comes out. But I think it has potential to be very cool, but it might just be nostalgia and people, it might have no substance.
yeah, I am mixtape. I feel like is a game that it's as likely to score a 90 as it is to score a 70.
Yes, I agree. Or
Yeah,
60.
yeah, or yeah, or
Yeah.
lower. And that was my plan. My problem last year. I had a lot of really big hitters, but I also took some risks on some games that did not pan out.
Yeah.
So I scored negative on 3 games last year. So you know,
Yeah, I
but
don't even
also
want to tell you where I ended for my fantasy movie draft thing because I did terribly.
oh, did it not go well?
No,
I
no,
feel
no.
like movies are so hard though, because is it based off of like
Box
Rotten
office.
Tomatoes or box office?
It's based off of box office.
And that like especially now that is
It's
so
impossible.
challenging. Yeah. Do you listen to the film cast?
No.
Okay. So they do a summer movie wager each year where they just do the movies that are coming out in summer and they try to do them in box office order.
Yeah.
And that I think is like a little bit more manageable. It's still a lot of surprises, but at least it's like the summer season when the box offices tend to be bigger. Like, that I feel like is a little more manageable. But man, the whole year for movies just would be so rough to do.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we'll see how I end up. Like I said, this year for the current league, I think there were 10 teams in it for this year. And I finished fifth. So,
Okay.
which isn't
So
bad considering
shoot,
I literally
shoot for
I literally
fourth.
had 3 negative scoring games. So, which means I got below 70s.
Yikes.
I took some risks. I took some big
Yeah.
swings. I also had 2 games that scored over 90. So,
There you go.
like I said, yeah, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So yeah. But hey, with that, you know what? We're just gonna get into it because this is one of our favorite, at least one of my favorite episodes to do each year. And I know this is when my podcast listening tends to go up of listening to people's favorite games, favorite movies, like these end of the year lists. I know sometimes they're kind of quote unquote easy content, but I think they're fun and they're interesting. I think they give us some good insights to what people enjoyed, what people didn't enjoy, and the fact that we were just talking about it before, Josh, that I don't know how confident I am in knowing your top 10. I
Well,
feel like I know your top 2, I feel like maybe your top 4. Your top 2 I
okay.
feel pretty confident about, but I don't know the order of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So,
I put a lot. I had to put a lot more thought this year into my list, and um, I am very surprised with my list.
so maybe I don't know then. Maybe I don't know. But hey, listeners, thanks so much for joining us this month. We'll find out more about Josh's list in a second. But as always, if you have any feedback, questions, or suggestions topics, hit us up at boardwithvg@gmail.com or check out the stuff on the Instagram, also boardwithvg. We're proud to be part of the Place and Video Games podcast family, and we encourage you to check out all of the shows like the PSVG podcast, the Nintendo Shack, PSXP, and the occasional Sweet Hangs, which is actually recorded today.
Yeah.
You never know when a new show might pop up, so be sure to stay tuned to all your favorite PSVG podcasts to stay up to date. We're also a member of the Dice Tower Podcast Network, so if you enjoy our conversations about board games and would like to dive deeper into that world, we encourage you to check out the Dice Tower Podcast archive as well as all the other members of the network. No matter what type of board games you enjoy, there's a podcast on the network that's right for you. So with that, Josh, very briefly, I just want to talk about kind of what we've been playing over the last couple months because it's been a
Yeah.
couple months since we recorded. So again, no need to go in depth, but Josh, what have you been playing over the last couple months?
So I fell into a different kind of kale, K with a C, comfort hole. I fell into a comfort hole, Kyle,
Nice.
where I didn't realize I was doing this, but I had retreated to comfort games,
Mm-hmm.
and that has been taking up a lot of my time. So I've been playing a lot of Diablo 4 again, and I'll probably pre-order Lord of Hatred so I can get the Paladin class. So they
Because you
released a
can
new. You can pre-order now, and you get the Paladin now. You get the
now.
Paladin when you pre-order, and then there's one other
Gotcha.
yet to be announced character for the expansion.
Okay.
I think so. 2 new characters, which is big. That's big for an expansion.
Yeah.
So I've been doing the rogue class, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's my last of the classes I have to beat the game with.
Mm-hmm.
So I have complete run throughs of every other class. And then what did Destiny go and do? They put out a Star Wars expansion.
Yeah, they did.
And it's incredible. It's one of my favorite pieces of content I have played this year. And I'm still playing it, and I'm like fully back into Destiny. So Destiny
Nice.
2 is back on the boards, and I will also be getting all the legacy content. I think I'm back in for good.
So are you telling me, Josh, that I should stop trying to like understand our creators and just download Destiny 2 for our Thursday night gaming nights?
I think both can exist.
Can they though? For those types of
But
games, can both exist?
what I like about Destiny 2, at least for the Renegades thing, is it's a standalone expansion. So you technically own it because I
Yeah.
bought it digitally. So we could just jump in and do the Renegades content, which is very good,
Mm-hmm.
and knock that out. Not too quickly, but we could do that in a couple weeks.
Gotcha.
And it's been they just did such a great job with Star Wars content. And and I always forget how good Destiny's combat is until
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing it again.
Yeah.
And it's just so good. It's just so smooth.
It is so good.
It's like perfect for the Star Wars theme.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm playing that. I'm playing a game called Clover Pit. Are you familiar with this?
Is this the slots
It's essentially Balatro meets
with slots?
Inscription.
Yeah.
Um, and it's incredible. I just
I've
beat
heard
it.
good
I
things.
just
Yeah.
beat it last week.
Okay.
And boy, it's just so much fun.
Wait, is this what you like? I in my mind, I felt like I saw you when I was playing on Steam Deck. I felt like I said you were playing Ball X Pit. Are you been playing Clover Pit actually? And I just was making that in my mind.
No, I've been playing both.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yes, yeah, Clover Pit is just great. Yeah, like it's Balatro meets Inscription. It's
Mm-hmm.
very cool. Something I didn't even know was a thing. It just like was on like the Steam page, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
$10 game or whatever.
sure.
Still playing Ghosts of Yotei. Still playing Hell Is Us. Two
Mm-hmm.
games I need to get more time into.
Sure.
But two games I'm enjoying. And Flip 7 has kind of taken over the whole family and the whole household for board
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
We've been playing it a ton over the past like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I really enjoy it. What a great little easy game to teach everyone and play.
Yeah.
It's just a ton of fun.
That's actually what I brought. We did a White Elephant gift exchange at work that was a $10 limit, and I brought Flip 7 and 2 boxes of candy.
Nice.
Yeah, because it was like exactly $10. I was like, that's a fun night for any group of people.
Yeah, great. I love it. Yeah. So I mean, there's been more, but that's off the top of my head what I've been spending most of my time with.
Awesome. Well, that's a lot of good stuff, Josh. I have been playing so many games over the last 2 months. It's actually kind of ridiculous. I'm on the video game side very briefly. I finished Ghost of Yotei, platinumed it. That game is done. When I originally wrote this list, I think I had like 12 games on the video game list, and I was like, I'm not gonna talk about all of these. And some of them I've never talked about, but will show up on my top 10 games of the year.
Really?
So
Okay.
you'll hear about a couple of them in a little bit. But just a ton amount of video games. But also a ton amount of board games. Like kind of once we hit Thanksgiving, there's a lot more time off from work, and the partner and I dive much deeper into board games. So there's a list of board games that we have been playing. Wandering Towers, which was a game that we actually introduced to my in-laws and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law at Thanksgiving. Went over amazingly. So if you're looking for like a light, fun game that you can play with like 6 people, Wandering Towers is great, really awesome. Fort, which is kind of the deck building game from
Leader Games.
Thank you, Leader Games. I like the people north of me from Leader Games. Really kind of fun deck builder. The big twist here being that the cards you don't use, you have to put out into your yard that your opponents can then have access to. So your deck size is kind of constantly changing. You have to think about like what you want to take because your opponents could take the cards that you want if you don't use them. So a really fun, kind of innovative, little different change on a deck builder. We also played Endless Winter Paleo Americans, which is a heavier Euro game. Pretty straightforward Euro in the sense of like you kind of have 3 actions. You use these actions by putting out your worker. This does have some deck building components to it as well because you do have like this deck of cards that you're using that kind of determines how much energy you have on your turns, which kind of determines how effective your actions are. This gets compared a lot with Lost Ruins of Arnak as far as like this kind of Euro deck builder. Really fun, really interesting, asymmetric too because there's different chiefs that you have that have different powers. So if you like Euros, it's great. Heaven and Ale, a little bit of a heavier Euro where you are trying to win by making the best ale as part of your monastery. What this game does, it has this really, really interesting um scoring mechanism at the end of the game. So during the game, it's just a rondel where you're kind of going around this board. You go around the board, for a 2-player game 3 times, and you like pick up different resources as you go. But then at the end of the game, you on your scoring track, you have all these resources that you've been trying to like push up, as well as your brewmaster that you're trying to push as far up this scoring track as you can. And then once the game ends, how far your brewmaster gets up, your brewmaster is always on this ratio. It might be like 3-1 or 4-1 or 2-1. And then what you have to do is with your 5 ingredients that you try to push up as far as you can, um, you have to like if you're on like the 3-1 ratio, whichever ingredient is furthest up, you have to move back 3, so then you can move your furthest back one up 1. And
Oh,
then if still whatever's furthest ahead, you move back 3 to move your furthest back one up 1. So they all end up being like together, and then you multiply like their location based off of where your brewmaster is, and that's your score for the game. It's
okay.
like this really really interesting, like you can't you can't just like specialize. You can't ignore anything
Yeah.
because whatever is furthest back is going to absolutely hose you. So it's just this really interesting push and pull of a scoring mechanism, which I really, really enjoyed. We played Viticulture.
Nice.
Again, card driven Euro, which is putting out, making wine. Again, fun game. Really, really enjoyed it. As a much, much lighter game, we played Viking See-Saw. This is a dexterity game. It's actually only available in Japan, I believe. My sister-in-law went to Japan, and the one
Oh,
thing we asked when she was there is like, "Hey, as our souvenir, can you bring us back Viking See-Saw?" And she
really?
did. Yep. Really, really simple, easy dexterity game where you have like a little ship that's in front of you, and you have a whole bunch of cargo on it. And on your turn, you move cargo from one part of the ship to the other, and just trying to make sure that the ship doesn't like topple and like send pieces everywhere.
Oh,
So fun little game, hard to find in the US, but a great game. We played Cascadia with the Landmarks expansion, which is just basically more Cascadia. So more of a good thing, which is great. The little card game Sea Salt and Paper, which is kind of a cool little set building game where you have some cards that are secret, some cards that are public. But the neat thing about this game is that once you hit 7 points, you can decide whether you like want to end the round right there, or you can kind of like push it and like try to like bet that you have the best hand. And if you do, you get like this huge benefit from it. But if you don't, like there's kind of this like drawback for you. So it's kind of this push and pull of trying to understand like, what do other people have? Do I try to go out now? Do I try to go out later? Kind of what do I want to do? So really small little deck, just a deck of cards, but really fun game. And then just some classics a classic. We played Risk. My father-in-law loves Risk, so we played Risk. Um,
nice.
my mother-in-law won for the first time ever, basically, which was kind of my goal. I really wanted her to win, so I like was doing like absolutely bad idea of things for me to do,
Yeah.
but it helped her win, and no one really realized that's what I was trying to do, which is great. And then we played the co-op game Daybreak, which came out a couple years ago, which I talked about then as well, but we played that some more, just trying to, save the world by reducing carbon emissions. So yeah, it's been a little over a month of a lot of board games, and we're actually have Wandering Galaxies set up on the table right now.
Oh,
So we have been hitting the tabletop pretty hard. I will say Wandering Galaxies so far, uh, not a fan so far.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really convoluted. What they did that I appreciate is they tried to make the game accessible to smaller player counts.
Yeah.
However, to do that, it really kind of hampers some of the stuff in the game. Whereas, like, Freelancer is the other game in this, and Forgotten Water is the other game kind of in this group of exploration adventure games from Plaid Hat. Typically are like 3 or more player requirements.
Yeah.
So this they try to make like a 1 to 6 or 1 to 7 player game,
Mm.
and playing it at 2 is just there are definitely some compromises, and it's a little bit confusing. The app isn't It's an app driven game. The app isn't super stable still. And what's hard too is if you like make a mistake, there's no way to go back.
Oh,
So you're like,
yeah.
well, I did this thing, I clicked, and now so yeah, it's been a little bit. The learning curve has been not enjoyable so far. It could just be us. Maybe we weren't in the right mood, but it's been not
Maybe.
ideal.
Maybe not though.
So yeah, but yeah, so played a ton of board games. So, which is overall though really good board gaming time. So yeah, so that's what I've been playing.
Sweet. I'm jealous.
All right, Josh, let's talk a little bit then. Kind of use that to transition to just our very brief board game overview. Kind of our year in review for board games. I think Josh, just generally like How much did you get to play board games this year, and any highlights? I know board gaming is always the thing that's a little more challenging for both of us, though. Like I said, what I just shared might not sound like that's true, but
Right.
typically it is the harder thing for us to get done. So, how much did you get to play? Any highlights? Any games you were really thrilled about this year in board games?
Yeah, I didn't get to play a lot. I think with my son getting older, I think next year could be a better year for that.
Yeah,
Um, so I played a handful of games. I was even trying to like remember what I played this year.
yeah.
Um, we did introduce my son to Potion Explosion, and that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
We also have he has a Ghostbusters like kind of not great card game, but we did at least play that a few times together this year. And we'll try to expand that. He got Battle of Hoth for Hoth or of Hoth
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
Hoth of Hoth for Christmas, and he's really interested in playing that. So we might play that this week. And I got Heat for Christmas, so I'm really hoping to get that to the table with the family and play that one. But for this year, we finally got Metal Gear Solid, the board game, and played it not too much. It turned out to be just fine, which is okay, but we didn't get a lot of plays in.
Mm-hmm.
It was a struggle this year to get all of us together again. So we had some Frosthaven sessions in this year, but not as many. But we did have a good chunk of Dead Cells gameplay, and
Yeah.
that was really the highlight, I think, of the year for me in
Mm-hmm.
board games, minus like Flip 7. Flip 7's been a
Sure.
huge hit,
Yeah.
but Dead Cells has been a lot of fun. And, we still have I've missed a lot of our D&D nights, but we still have our game session that's going.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been severely missing that just because of life stuff and things and work
Yeah.
schedules and all that fun stuff.
For sure.
Um, but yeah, other than that, I have a ton. I'm just surrounded by board games. Again, even when I said I wasn't going to buy as many, and I
Yeah.
didn't buy as many this year, I still bought
Sure.
a bunch, and
Yeah.
it's still kind of like sitting here waiting and begging to be played. I even have like the giant Potion Explosion Collector's Edition we got
Mm-hmm.
that I really want to get to the table. Fox Experiment has come in. I want to get
Mm-hmm.
that to the table. Um, you know, Redwood, Mad Kala. I got the Dungeoneering game that we were always interested in for like $11 on a clearance sale.
Yeah.
Like I got a bunch of stuff I really want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the title blades, like small banner festival, I think it was called,
Yep.
like the smaller version. So there's a bunch of stuff. And then my wife just messaged me yesterday that they're doing a deluxe Fox in the Forest.
Yeah, they are.
And I was like, oh, okay. So all these games craving my attention. And I hope next year to, uh, one, for my son to find patience, and two, for me to
Yeah.
play more board games.
Yeah.
But both of those things uh, need to coexist for them to happen. So I don't know how that will be.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
How about you? What's your board game year in review?
So, early in the year, I wasn't getting many board games played. But once I finished up the doctorate and graduated, I think every month I had new board games that I was able to talk
Yeah,
about. And that obviously was a big turning point for me. We've gotten, I think, more board games played in the last 6 months than we played in the previous 3 years.
that's crazy
Which, yeah, it's just
and
been,
good.
it has been really nice as another way to sit down and spend time with the partner and do some nice things. We have really struggled and we didn't play too many games that came out this year, which isn't unusual for us in board games. Just
Yeah,
it's such a weird business compared to the video game business as far as when things come out and when there's available and all these good things. And I think what really hit home for me is I don't know if you watched the Dice Tower top 10 board games of the year videos.
I didn't watch them yet. Usually
Okay.
watch them right around this time though.
Yeah, so they, posted those a couple weeks ago, and we watched them, and we watched them while, like, we actually watch board game content together, while we're eating dinner a lot.
Yeah.
And we watched them, and I don't want to spoil anything per se, but like one of the games that came up on multiple top 10 lists was a game called Sweetlands, um,
Okay.
which is a kind of funny. It's a you're it's this really kind of light looking, cute looking Euro game, but it's actually really, really a really heavy game. But it's like you're making like this confectionaries in this kingdom. But the game is very like heavy, really crunchy decisions, all these things. But then it's like, oh yeah, this game looks amazing. Cheapest you can find it for is $200. And it's like, right. And it was like that for like multiple games that I was just like, man, like I really, really want to like play these things, but I've been trying very hard to be more thoughtful about like where I'm spending my money in regards to board games and getting them, only when I'm super interested in them and if they seem like, they're going to be that they fit like what we're looking for and if they're a reasonable price, right? Like another game I really want to get is Speakeasy. It's $155, right? And it's just like we
Yeah.
we talk about the price of video games all the time, which we should, but
Yes.
then yeah, the price of board games these days is just so bonkers that it's made it really, in some ways, disheartening because it's like to play these just like top notch like games that everyone's talking about and that are the new hotness and to kind of stay up with everything. It's just so hard to do. Another one, the number one game right now on on BGG's hotness is the Old King's Crown. This game is like $330,
Is
right?
it
It's
because
just
it was like a Kickstarter and
it
they're
was a
not
kick
out yet?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a
Yeah. Yeah.
Kickstarter that like, and I think that is just what is so hard is that like to be current, you have to have been like looking at games like 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just pretty rough. So I think that's kind of the good and the bad of it is that staying current in board games I think is getting harder than ever if you're not um backing a ton of Kickstarters and then hoping, right, that you back the right ones,
Yeah.
or you're an influencer or a content creator who's getting like access to these games like in a timely manner. More than ever, I think is harder to stay up to date these games these days. And I know I can't remember what the name of the game is off the top of my head, but one of the person's games that was their number one game of the year was another game that was neither of those. That was like $350,
Yeah.
and
Just
it's
like
just
access to these games before everybody else and has these opinions that now you can't participate in it because it's
well,
not in
and
like retail
yeah, and like
locations.
just to get the games right, it's like if you want to get those three games, 3 6. I mean, you're at like $800.
Right.
Like
For
that's
games you might
just
not even enjoy.
right, and that's just cuckoo bananas, and I think that's the hard part. The nice thing is about Kickstarter though, right, is it allows small creators who probably never would be able to make a game, which is amazing. Like the fact that
Yeah.
they can do that they can make it in any way economical for a small print run to exist is amazing. But it does mean that if you are not if you are not number one in line, it is very, very hard to ever get in line. Then
Yeah.
it's like an like in it unintentional gatekeeping basically is what's happening of like you have to like be able to afford the price up front, and if you can't, the price afterwards is so prohibitively expensive for so
Yeah.
many people. And there are exceptions, right? Flip 7, it's like $7 and
Yeah.
it's a great game.
Yeah.
Right, so there are exceptions, but that I think is just the thing that I've been more frustrated with this year than more than anything is just really feeling like, someone who is dual income, no kids. Like I still feel like I'm like priced out of the hobby in a lot of ways,
Right.
which is kind of insane.
Yeah. 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 Because it's
And
it's certainly well, I wouldn't even say that. I was about to say it's certainly the base, but it's not necessarily that. It's not necessarily true. I think the perception is that's the base, but that's not
right,
fact.
and I don't want this to be like, oh, woe is me, right? Like this is not like I have plenty of games for the most part, like I could get these games if I really, really wanted to.
Yeah.
It just much more is like, is this sustainable for the hobby, right? Like from a hobby
Oh, for sure.
perspective,
Right.
is this something that can be sustained? And I think it's gonna be tough. Like it is gonna be fewer and fewer people. I think it's gonna become more boutique than even it was before,
Yeah.
and that's tough because I just think that games are so cool and I want so many people to be able to play them. So
Yeah.
all right, so that's it. We'll wrap up our board game talk there. We'll get on to our video game talk. The very affordable, easily accessible video game world. Which I will say, most of the games on my top 10 list are not full price games. But well, yeah. So
Interesting.
small preview. But Josh, let's talk about generalities. How much did you get to play this year? kind of what's your broad overview for the year in games? Good year, not so good year. I know a couple months ago I was like, Josh, this is one of the best years ever, and you were like, heck no, it's not. This year sucks. Um, that's not
Yeah, I
actually what you
think I
said at
was
all.
wrong. I think no, I think I was wrong, but I didn't say that. I said I think we say that every year.
Yeah,
But no, I do think that I was wrong in that moment. I think we talked about it after
yeah.
the fact, and I was like, wait, I thought about that. Um, how much did I get to play? I feel like I got to play a lot this year.
Hmm.
Um, uh, looking at all these recaps, but I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
if I'm being honest, I think I didn't play. I think I was in a slump a lot of this year. I think
sure.
I had a rough year, and I think that affected my wanting to.
Hmm.
And I think like we talked about it in some regard. I'm not sure if on the podcast or not, but it came down to points where like I only have a few hours in my day during the week
Yeah.
after like dinner and the kid is in bed, and then I just end up getting sucked into YouTube. I don't
Hmm.
watch a movie, I don't play a game, and like that's valuable time I wasn't motivated to address.
Yeah,
So I think my opportunity was more this year. I think I didn't take advantage of it fully.
sure.
So I probably played a little bit less than
Hmm.
I did last year, actually.
Yeah,
But I still feel like I played a lot.
yeah,
Um, and uh, yeah, putting the process of putting my list together is uh, similar to every year. I just kind of go online and I do the search.
yeah.
I use two different sources in case I miss anything,
Hmm.
just to remind myself what I played. And then I don't write down every game I played, but I write down any game I play that I would consider a contender for top 10.
Hmm.
And this year, I would say I tripled my honorable mentions that I usually have.
Okay.
Uh, and like I had so many games that I think could have qualified to be in my top 10. That's how much I enjoyed the content I at least had this year.
Yeah.
So it was tough. I changed my list multiple times,
Hmm.
trying to weigh my experience versus hype versus expectation,
Yeah.
um, which is why I think my list is probably more diverse than it's ever been in the past period since we've recorded the show.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
just a really I wouldn't have if I looked at this list last January and I told myself this was going to be your game of the year list.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have believed it.
How many? How many? And you could and don't worry too much about the nuance of this question. Just from your perspective, how many like full price AAA games are on your list?
Uh, full price AAA games,
Yeah.
0.
Yeah. I think I have. I think I have one. So yeah, I would agree because for me playing my similar to my board game consumption early in the year I was not playing. I was dabbling in games and playing them for little bits of times and kind of getting in a little bit. But the bulk of my playing has definitely been the last 6 months. I have played a ton of games, especially the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Um, as just time allotted, and I was able to kind of do some more things. But yeah, when I first wrote down this list, I had far more games than I had space for. Like not even remotely close. I just so many games, and then I started having to kind of prioritize, and it's hard because I talk about this being like my favorite games of the year. Is kind of how I was frame it, and for some part that's like, hey, like this is the game I had the most. These are the games I had the most fun with, but that's not even really accurate because some of the games on my list, there were I don't know that they were always fun. They
No, they're
just
not
were
always
like,
fun.
yeah, they're just like
Most enjoyable experience.
experiences. Yeah, but even sometimes I don't know if they were. I, I sometimes maybe it was like in awe or moved in a meaningful way, but I don't know if I would say I was enjoying it. It's like it gets really kind of yeah. So I am surprised. I think at the beginning of the year, I, some of the games that are on my list I did not even know about.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and some of them I were games that I thought I would not like, but I did. So, yeah, it's a surprising year, especially for how high some of them are. So, and I would like to think I've ingested um a fair number of other people's lists at this point.
Yeah.
This isn't like me being like, oh my, my tastes are so much better than everyone else's, but I think my list is a bit more
Diverse.
yeah, a bit more diverse than most other lists I've seen. Again, this was not done on purpose. I'm not trying to be a tastemaker. I just am surprised at like the number of games and the variety of games that I have on my list. So
I changed my mind. There is one AAA game that's on my list. But I
and like I
just
said, even
swapped.
that's kind
But
of a
I just
nebulous.
changed. But I just changed it to include it.
Oh, you just added it to the list now?
I changed my number 10, and my number 10 is spoilers. Is a AAA game.
All right. Well, Josh, should we do it?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Let's do it. Top 10 favorite games of the year. How many of the okay, like I said, I think I know your top 2 I feel pretty confident about.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about my list? Do you feel confident? Do you know much
I
of mine?
feel the most unprepared for your list than ever.
Okay.
Usually I can get a read on usually we're talking a lot about what we're playing and
Yeah.
we're not necessarily doing that.
Yeah.
Um so like I have suspicions of I mean there's some games that are obviously going to be on your list, but um uh, I have less and less confidence in what those games are going to be, with the exception of one.
Okay. Perfect. Well, hey, Josh, what is your number 10 favorite game of the year?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this because I did obviously just put it there, and it wasn't on my list originally because I haven't spent enough time with it. But thinking of the game that I replaced it with, it makes I was thinking while we were talking, my time with this game, um, few like as infrequent as it has been versus the other game I had. I've enjoyed my time more
Hmm.
in the smaller period
Sure.
than on the whole of the other games. So my number 10 is Ghost of Yotei, and I am very confident it would have been higher if I played longer.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't. I kind of was like, do I leave it off my list? That would seem. So my number 10 was Clover Pit. So
Okay.
thinking of recency bias for one,
Mhm.
and two, just like it's a great game, but I think my time with Ghost of Yotei I've enjoyed more.
Sure.
Um, and I really just it feels great. Like I was just playing it again recently. I'm just trying to dip in and out because
Mhm.
there's also so much going on that I can't really play it when my son's up.
Yeah.
So
Very
I have
true.
limited time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I really just love. I mean, what is there to say about it that people don't already know? It's
Yeah.
beautiful. The voice acting is great. The combat is awesome.
Mhm.
The ability still to do stealth or burst right in is something I
Mhm.
always love about that series. And
Yeah.
now the fast travel is so much better than, and I can appreciate why people wouldn't use it, and I don't
Mhm.
always use it.
Yeah.
But because anytime I see a bird, I have to stop what I'm doing, and that
Yeah.
kind of gets annoying. But I also want to do it every
Yeah.
time, so
It
I
is like
I just
Spider-Man level almost of like
yes.
trust you're just like there. Yeah.
Yeah, you see something, you gotta. I see a wolf, I see a bird, I
Mhm.
have to stop.
Yeah.
Even if I'm like, if I have someone with me, unless the
Sure.
game tells me to get back
Yeah.
to where I was, I'm
Yeah.
following that bird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great. I really do, and it probably could have been a top 5 contender if I played 20 to 30 more hours of it.
Yeah. I mean, I finished like I said, I finished the platinum and it was 55 hours for me to get the platinum.
Okay,
Did how do you like it more or less than Ghost of Tsushima?
I like it less than Goats of Tsushima, but
Mhm.
also it's again something I haven't put as much time into. And
Right.
Ghosts of Tsushima was my first ever platinum
Yeah.
video game on PlayStation, so it also has a special like memory for me for that.
Yeah.
Um, and then all that save data got lost, but whatever. Uh, but yeah, so far I don't like it as much, but
Gotcha.
that's okay.
Um awesome. The Are you looking forward to Legends?
Yes, if I can play with you.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to
Yeah.
figure some
Yes.
time out for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
I
all
am
right.
looking. Yeah.
Josh is number
What
10.
is your number two?
My number 10, Josh, is a game I don't think I've ever talked about on this podcast.
Exciting.
Um, and it is a game I had had on my list to play for a while and finally got to it about probably like 2 months ago. And I have not quite finished it, but I'm right on the doorstep. Henceforth, it's a little bit later in my list. The game is Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo.
Okay.
Are you okay? Are you familiar with this game, Josh?
No.
No, okay. So Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. It is a platform adventure game. I guess is the best way to think of it. It's a retro. It's kind of a retro inspired, like Game Boy Advance, like Zelda inspired game. Pixel arted, really good music, but it very much is like this just kind of old school adventure game where you are going up, moving up, down, left, right. On every time you go in from one screen to the next screen is kind of like another like like if you die, it's like, do you want to attempt this screen again, right?
Yeah.
And you play as Pipistrello,
A
and
cat.
you're going out and
Mouse.
using your yo-yo as your weapon. You're a pro yo-yoer. Your family is very rich, and they control the power in the city. And some people decide to take revenge on your family, so now you're trying to go back out and like collect these batteries, which bring you to kind of the 4 dungeons, if you would, that you have to go explore. And as you go, your yo-yo gets different abilities. Like you get the ability to like walk the dog, that lets you like go over like liquids. And you're just kind of like getting these different abilities as you go. um and it's just like this really, I don't know, kind of like inject like nostalgia into my veins game.
Yeah.
The music is really good. It's surprisingly challenging. Like it's not hard, but it's one of those games that like if you stop paying attention, like you will die. Like it is not a walk in the park. um it does this really interesting mechanism for like leveling up your abilities, where like you take out these contracts, but once you take out the contracts, like you have a detriment that happens while you have this contract going, and that half of the money you collect like pays off the contract, and once the contract is paid off, then you get this new ability and your kind of the detriment goes away. So there's this constant balance between like, do I want to have this detriment to get this ability in 20 minutes of game time that I have to go like and kind of get these coins or not? Which one do I pick, because you have options for multiple of them to pick all the time. It's a pretty fun game. uh, the pixel art for me is like kind of the one small drawback. I think the characters are a little bigger than I would like them to be on the screen. That's kind of my only slight annoyance with the game, and that's actually why I didn't play it right away, because I was like kind of turned off by that. But in practice, in playing, it works really well. I think it's on just about everything. And I
Yeah.
think it's like a duo developers from Brazil who made this game. I think it's like um, oh gosh, Pocket Trap, I think is their name, and then it's published by PM.
Hmm.
But yeah, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, pretty affordable, 15-20 bucks probably, on just about everything. And if you're looking for kind of one of those Game Boy Advance games, for me, the thing that I always often refer to it as is kind of like a Link to the Past, is kind of what like it feels like for me playing it. But yeah, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, my number 10.
Okay.
Did you think I
Awfully
was
good.
lying when I first said the game?
I didn't know what the heck you were saying. So.
Yeah, it's great. It's really fun. So,
Okay.
all right, Josh, what is your number 9?
My number 9 is Sunderfolk.
Nice.
Sunderfolk is, well, we talked about it before, but it's just, this great family themed, I guess, family friendly dungeon crawler that you
Mm-hmm.
play on the console, and you use your phones or tablets to participate. We played it a lot this year. I tried to get us to play it recently again. We'll try to get that back to the TV, but um, yeah, you play through this story. It's, if you know board games, it's very much kind of like Everdell meets Descent 2 or Gloomhaven. And if you don't know those references, it's kind of like woodland creatures who are fighting, of course, corruption. You know how that is very popular in video games. Um, and you have these characters that you play, and like I'm a polar bear, a barbarian polar bear, and there's like a falcon ranger and all these other characters. fire salamander.
Mm-hmm.
So they have all these different characters you can play, and you level them up like you would a traditional RPG game. You can interact with characters in the town. You can even get into relationships with characters in the town, which is very funny. Because I'm currently romancing a hyena who is very mean, but also is a belly dancer.
Oh,
Uh, so it's very funny and interesting. It's mostly fully voice acted, and it's just kind of like cheeky, fun, and challenging combat.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'd like to play, my wife, my son, and I, and it's also would be easy to play like online with friends if you could stream your screen like on Twitch or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great, and I want to spend more time with it. But from the time we put in, it was great. So I had a lot of fun. That's my number 9.
That game that is on my short list of games I'm bummed I never got to this year.
Yeah.
Because the studios making that game, Secret Door, is really interesting because they're part of that Dreamhaven group, which oh gosh, Moonshot Games, who did Wildgate, and
Oh
then
yeah,
they also were the publishers for like Link Banner of the Spark.
Linked. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so like they're just doing like really interesting things in the space compared to a lot of other publishers. I don't know that any of them have been wildly successful though, which is a little nerve
yeah.
wracking for me. But I just think they're doing really cool stuff.
Agreed.
So awesome! That's a great pick. It is on my short list because I know it's on X. We have it on Xbox, so I definitely want to
Yeah,
play it. Just gotta convince the partner to play a digital board game basically versus
yeah,
a regular board game.
yeah.
So, all right, Josh, my number 9 is another game that I don't think I've had a chance to talk about on the podcast yet. And this game came out at the end of August, and was a game I was really excited to play and just never really got around to it. But then with some of the breaks and things like that, and then it went on sale, so I was like, fine, let's pick it up. And it is kind of in my favorite-ish or a genre I really like as an action platformer, and that is Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Oh, nice.
So this game would be higher on my list if I had played it more. I'm not as far into it as I would like, but so far it is delivering in spades that experience. What's really cool about Shinobi Art of Vengeance? It is a Shinobi game, obviously, but also I'm not like a Shinobi guy. Like I played some Shinobi growing up, but it's not like a series that I have a particular affinity for. But it is a kind of Metroidvania light 2D action platformer where you play as Joe Shinobi, and you're going through and just doing your stuff and fighting people and discovering secrets. But what is really cool about this game is the exploration is fun, but the combat in it is just for a 2D platformer really something else. You're able to kind of like unlock these different moves as you go, but then you're able to put together and kind of decide how you want to fight. So if you're someone who wants to do like a lot of air juggling, you can do that. If you want to be just dodging and slashing a ton, you can do that. How much you want to use the special abilities and how varied the special abilities are pretty impressive. This game just feels so good to play. And I was really excited about Ninja Gaiden Ragebound earlier in the year. That
Yeah,
game was great. And they're different games for sure, but as soon as I played this game, I was like, oh gosh, this one has the juice a little bit more. So if you like, you're a 2D action platformer, if you like Metroidvanias, I think this is going to be a great fit for you. If you haven't historically liked Metroidvanias, though, I think this is still going to be an okay game, because it it doesn't lean really hard into that. Like that's part of it,
yeah,
but a lot of this is really just kind of this 2D action platformer. The combat, like I said, the combat is so good. The music is great. It's developed by Lizard Cube, who are the same people who did Streets of Rage 4.
yeah.
So from that, it's going to feel really good. But also just the art in this game is really cool. Like it's a really pretty game. But yeah, if you haven't had a chance, I highly recommend it. But it's my number 9, Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
That's also a game that was on my I wish I played more list. I only did the demo, and I really liked the demo.
Mm,
And I just didn't get to play it this year.
gotcha.
But
Well, hey, we own it on PlayStation if you want to play it.
great. Yeah,
So
perfect. I'm going to install it. I was thinking about installing it while you were talking about
cool.
it.
All right, Josh, what is your number 8?
My number 8 is Absolem, a game we have
Nice.
played together. And speaking of like Streets of Rage 4, it definitely has those vibes. It's a Metroidvania side-scrolling beat 'em up ish,
Mm-hmm.
like loosely, because you're doing these runs over and over again with the intention of getting stronger and leveling up, and that is what you do. And yeah, the only time I played that by myself was the demo. Every other time I played has been with Kyle, and we played a bunch when it
Mm-hmm.
came out. We just got distracted by Baldur's Gate and um, Arc Raiders and
Yeah.
stuff and Helldivers. But a game that I could easily just go right back to. It's really fun. I really
Yeah.
like the beat 'em up aspect of it. Doesn't feel boring or repetitive because each area you're going to has different things going on, and you can always choose a different path when you're going through.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed our time with it and would happily play more. I think it's just like a beautiful looking game, and it feels really good controlling the characters. So uh, yeah,
Awesome.
I'm my number 8.
As a spoiler for my list, this did not quite make it, but it was on my short list.
Okay.
Um, my number 8 is a game I know we're going to hear more about. And the only reason it's this point on my list is I have yet to beat it, though I did go back to it like I promised. I just have not finished it yet. So my number 8 is Claire Obscure.
Okay.
Um, and like I said, the only reason this is where it is I just haven't finished it yet, and I don't know exactly. I have no doubts it would be higher. I just don't know exactly where. I don't know that I need to say anything else about this game. You've heard about it from us. You've heard about it from everyone that's out there. Part of me while I was doing this was like, maybe I just don't put it on the list. Like that'll be like, but like I don't know why I would do that because it, even though I haven't finished it, it's great.
Yeah.
Like so, I don't know like why I wouldn't put it somewhere. And like I said, if we in a year, if we do a retrospective and re-ranked ours, would it might it be very much quite a bit higher? Yes. My plan
Yeah.
is to hopefully beat it over the next couple weeks here. But yeah, like I said, I don't need to say anything else. I'm sure we'll talk about it more in the future. My number 8 is Claire Obscure.
Okay.
All right, Josh,
Nice.
what is your number 7?
My number 7 is Dispatch.
Nice.
I could have seen this going higher, and the only reason why I have it a little lower is the replayability value.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, that's not to take away from an incredible game. I just
Yep.
really enjoyed every minute of my time with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just, I know we talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah.
the voice acting and how well that was directed and performed
Mm-hmm.
just is incredible. And I really enjoyed the story. I think the characters are unique enough that it's
Mm-hmm.
not quite cliche, but it's borderline like,
Yeah.
okay, we get it. But it really did a good job at separating itself from like a Suicide Squad
Mm-hmm.
comparison because it is, I think, much more well-rounded characters. You have a little bit more time with them to see where that is, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's very well done, and they do a good job at like fitting this narrative into your gameplay that you don't
Mm-hmm.
even realize they're doing it
Yeah.
by these little character interactions, even like
Mm-hmm.
subtle ones. So I loved it. I thought it was great. I can't wait to get more games like this again. I hope this is
Yeah.
going to lead to that trend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was just a great time. I really enjoyed my time with it.
Awesome. Who's your favorite character?
I mean, I don't know. My favorite character is Malevola, I guess, but I really
Mm.
like. I can't think of his name. The Bat guy. The Bat. I want to call
Oh.
him Batmanuel, but that's not his
Oh.
name.
Well, either way, your answers are incorrect. The correct answer is Beef the dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Beef is great too.
Beef, such a good name for him too. Beef.
Yes. Yeah.
Man. Okay. Well, that's a great pick for your number 7, Josh. My number 7 is a game I think is going to be on your list. We'll see. I should have asked how many crossovers do you think we are going to have, but it's a little late for that.
Well, I definitely think Dispatch is on your list if we're talking about crossovers.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure this one will be on your list as well. My number 7 is Arc Raiders.
Okay.
So Arc Raiders, I think people, again, another game that I think people know about. It is the kind of extraction shooter of the moment, where you go in and solos, duos, or trios, and get some gear, and then decide, do the people that are also trying to extract with this gear, do they have better gear than I do? And
Yeah.
if so, do I want to try to take it from them? And that's really what the game is all about, is that push and pull of, that PvPvE experience. The I know this game is controversial in some areas because of the use of AI, especially for, the voice. I don't even say call acting, the audio that you hear from that is like voiced.
Yeah.
Um, the actors also agree to it. They were paid and their contracts stipulated this is what they would be doing.
We're
And there
gonna
are some.
start we're gonna have to start accepting it. I know it sucks, but
Well, and I think that's the other part, right? Like, I think if there's anything we've seen is that every studio is probably using AI to varying degrees. It's just how
yes.
much and who's willing to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I do think though that it does provide some opportunities and options that would not necessarily be probably doable without it, right?
Yeah.
And should it be this way? No, but like, hey, if you're a woman, like you can have a dude's voice in the game, and it
Right.
just doesn't matter, right? Like you can just do that. And in the world of online gaming, women aren't always treated the best. So being able to, if you want to, sound like a guy, could be beneficial to you, right? Like there are things you can do, and I do think just that the fun and the joy of things that can happen in that game because of proximity chat that
Yeah.
are different. Like, yes, the friend slop stuff, which I don't mean derogatorily, but like when you think of like RV there yet and Peak and all these other games,
Yes.
like, yep, that's fun. But in this game, like, it is not just a punchline. It is actually like like a strategy to like, do you
Yes.
talk to the other team? How much do you talk to them? Do you try to
What do you
negotiate
say?
with them?
Yeah.
You know, if just if you yell at them, maybe they'll stop shooting at you, like which happened in the last game where we played. I just started yelling, "Be nice, be nice, be nice," and it really confused the one guy,
Yeah.
and then he stopped shooting for a second, which allowed me to get away. Unfortunately, Josh died, but I got away.
Yeah,
So
it happens.
so yeah, but I just the tension that's there, kind of how they put it all together overall, I think is really great. Transparently, I don't think the shooting in the game feels that great. I think it's fine, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, the experiences of going in, and even the couple of solo runs I've done, it's still fun. It's still like you can play this by yourself or with people, and it's a good time. This is kind of one of those games that is pretty sticky. The downfall I will say is that, man, if you are not playing this game regularly, it's very easy to get outclassed very quickly, which is the
Yeah.
drawback to it. But still good, still can be fun had with friends. Still can get in there, get your gear, and extract out without even interacting or being shot at by people if you're careful. So yeah, really good time. My number 7, Arc Raiders.
Nice.
All right, Josh, what is your number 6?
My number 6 is the Little Blue Prince. Can't forget about the blueprints. I for sure thought this would be higher on my list at the
Yeah, I'm kind of
start
surprised this far
of
down.
the year. Yeah, me too. It's great. We just picked it up and played it again not too long ago. It's very easy game to just jump right back into. Um, uh, I talked about it ad nauseum, I think, at the beginning of this year, but I think it's just like very unique, very original idea, borrowing from board game mechanics. I love the art style. I like the mystery. I like that for some people it's super easy to finish, and some people like me are on day 42 or whatever and still finding new rooms. I like that aspect of it. I like it, how it's like opening a mystery box every time you play. It really gets those dopamine hits for me when
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing. Like, this is what I like. And not just me, like my whole family likes it. My wife plays it by herself. My son plays it by himself with some
Awesome.
help. He always gets mad when the box lies to him because he forgets that one of those boxes is lying. Um, but yeah, it's just been a ton of fun. It's just what a great, cool little indie darling of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Just checks all the boxes for me. But yeah, it's down all the way down to 6 for me.
Wow. Blueprints, Josh's number 6. My number 6 is another game that came out very late in the year. And it was a game that I don't think most people knew about. I vaguely was aware about it, but not like, this is not like I like cool know all the things. Like, I had seen it before and was interested because the style of game it was.
Yeah.
But then it kind of blew up and people started talking about it right at the end of the year. And that is Sectori. Sectori is a twin stick shooter. I love twin stick shooters, so
Yeah, you
I
do.
do tend to be pretty engaged in like that kind of genre of like what's coming up from there. And what's really cool about Sectori is it is an indie game made by Kimo Latinen, who worked at Housemarque and worked on Resogun and Dead Nation and like those sorts of games. So
Mm.
I adored, like, I've been a Housemarque fan forever. Like all of their games, like I have enjoyed. Like Next Machina for me is probably my favorite of theirs. But kind of that twin stick experience is something that I even though I'm not great at them, I just have always loved them. And what's really cool about Sectori is it is this really very intense, fast paced twin stick shooter that everything, the mechanisms and the mechanics behind the game, you learn pretty quickly, though they don't tell you anything. You just kind of figure things out. But then it very much becomes like it is very skill based, because though the runs feel familiar, they're never the same. So it is how you layer in and recognize and use the techniques that you've learned throughout the games to kind of master the things that you're going through. And kind of like being able to learning how you can actually chain dashes together, which is something that the game doesn't really tell you, but you can kind of figure out. It has this really unique level up system where you're able to like improve the quality of like your blasters or your missiles or your speed or your shields. But it's very much a risk reward thing, is that like when you get your first level up, it kind of slots into the bottom, and then it kind of like progresses up every time you level up, and then you can like activate it, like let's say when it hits your missiles, and then you start over again. But then it takes time to kind of get up to those your missiles and your blasters again. So it's like, oh, do I activate it right away to improve my shields because I need them now, or do I improve my speed because I need it now, or do I wait until it gets higher on the track, knowing that it's kind of like less levels up I'm going to get overall in each run. It's just a really interesting, fun, cool game. It is hard as nails. If you don't like twin stick shooters, you're not going to like that. I kind of equate this to like Kill Knight that I talked about last year.
Mm.
Like it's tough. It is really hard. So if that's not something you're looking for, I don't know it's going to be a great fit. But if you kind of enjoyed the Super Stardust like style games, I can't recommend Sectori enough. It's really, really cool.
Looks
Um,
really cool.
yeah, so that's my number 6, Sectori.
Okay.
All right, Josh, number 5, sir.
My number 5. Uh, this is a game that I was really looking forward to. We talked about it a little bit. We played a demo of it, and it is a sequel to a game that I also really liked in the past, and it is Lost in Random: The Eternal Die. I absolutely adore this game. It takes the Hades format and it really injects this Tim Burton storyline just as a prequel to the Lost in Random game, which I really enjoyed. And it's challenging. It's super fun. All the characters are super unique and charming and creepy, and I think the combat is fantastic. They really, yeah, put in their own style of leveling up and in the room system. Uh, I just love it to death, and I think it has so much replayability to it. There's like their version of like a new game plus where you could just keep going into runs to get everything you didn't unlock. Um, and yeah, it's a game I often think about, and I often think about purchasing it, like just have on my Steam Deck so I can
Yeah.
easily access it and play it. One of those games I wouldn't mind owning in multiple um, uh, versions so I could play
Yeah.
it more frequently. But yeah, Lost in Random, I really, really enjoyed that game a lot.
Awesome. Very, very good number 5. Josh, you might be the first person I have heard talk about that game on your end of the year list of all the things I've listened to.
For shame, all those
I
people.
agree, because that game is great. I agree. Josh, my number 5 is my most played game on Steam Deck. It
Ah,
is do you know what it is?
perhaps.
Okay.
We'll see.
It
Have a
is
guess.
it is the follow-up to a really popular game that, released in early access a year ago, and then kind of was fully released this year. Um, and that's Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I love this game. This is
Yeah.
like every time I sit down with my Steam Deck, I think I have over 30 hours in this game right now.
Nice. I
Which,
should tell you how much I
for
have.
most played game on Steam Deck, like, not, maybe that's not going to be a ton, but I got my Steam Deck at like the end of September, early October.
Yeah.
So that combined with everything else I'm playing, I think that's pretty good. But I love this game. The original Deep Rock Galactic I enjoyed. But I love survivor style games. There's something that I know some people think that they're not quote unquote real games, but this game is just so much fun and so deep. And there's different challenges that you can do, and it, there's so many ways and different styles and types of runs you can do, that the game just kind of feels endless. I am I remember when I first started, I was like, "Oh, I feel like I'm gonna get to the end of this pretty quick," and then you unlock all the masteries and stuff. You're like, "Oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
this is gonna take me forever to like finish this game." And like I said, I'm over 30 hours in. I have gotten through like maybe not even half of the main missions, like maybe a third of the escort missions, like a quarter of each of the masteries. Like, there's so much of this game left for me to play and continue to play. And I
Yeah.
think just the how it kind of like you're both like actively having to mine all of the things that you need along with trying to fight, and it's like, do I like make these like paths and tunnels through these things, or do I not, or do I wait until things get really hectic, and then like trying to be like, okay, I want to do this mastery to like level up this stupid pistol, but doing
Yeah.
it with just a dumb pistol is gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, the only thing I don't like about this game is the gear system, and it's not that it's bad, it's just that I literally every time just go to like you can do like the auto pick for your gear. And that's
Yeah.
all I ever do, because I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
every round you're getting like 2 or 3 pieces of gear. So investing to upgrade your gear never really feels worthwhile. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, auto pick my gear for me every time. Um, but yeah, like that's the only thing that's like a detriment to me, is like there's this extra step I have to do about this one part of the game I don't care about.
Yeah.
But it's a really deep part of the game. Like the gear is so insanely deep, and I
Yeah.
just like skip it. So in some ways, that's kind of why it's a little bit quote unquote further back on my list, because I just don't like that part. But man, I love this game. This is a game that I think will be installed on my Steam Deck probably forever. Like, I don't know what
Nice.
would cause me to remove this game, but I really enjoy it. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor.
Great. It's on my honorable mention list. I did look it up. I have 10 hours on Steam and 4 hours on the Xbox. So I have played it in different areas.
Is this what you thought it was?
It's not what I thought it was, no.
Okay.
But I'm glad that it's on there. I really like it too, so I'm glad you really like it.
Yeah. All right, Josh, you're number 4.
So my number 4, in my mind, has no business being number 4. It has no business being as enjoyable as it is to me. This is not a game I would ever consider myself to like, and I can't even tell you necessarily why I like it so much. But I think it's because of how much fun I have when I play it with you, and how deep it could potentially be if I really wanted to invest my time in it, and that's Arc Raiders. Uh, I really appreciate how much fun I'm having now, knowing that we're basically doing nothing and still
That's
enjoying
true.
it as much as we're enjoying it, and also knowing that if I did want to sit down and really grind it out, there's a whole system there for
Yeah.
that, to make me better, to give me specific things I want to do. And we still do that when we play. Like sometimes we'll go in and we'll like be like, okay, we're just going to go and kill things on this one. And I like that it can just be drones. I like that it doesn't have to be us trying to kill other players. Um, and I like I like how intense it is when we are around other players, because you don't know what that interaction is going to be like. And it just really it really hits like a lot of those exhilarating moments I get from action games or horror games,
Mm-hmm.
when we're in those like small, like contained moments.
Yeah.
And we're usually on our way towards them.
Yep.
So it doesn't always like surprise us, but sometimes, you get surprised by people,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And I like that it scales for 1, 2, and 3 players when possible. I like
Yeah.
that we've played together in duos and had just the best time, and also been able to play with 3 players
Mm-hmm.
and have chaotic good times. And
Yeah.
how we can sometimes just, it's usually me, but like how we can go and be a little off book and do something controversial, and then you can go in with free loadouts, like you're not losing
Yeah.
all your gear. So I really do appreciate that about it. I couldn't have imagined it would be this high on my list. But I really think when we're not playing arc raiders, I think about wanting to play arc raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think the only thing for me that put it a little further back on my list is that I just, and like I said, it might be a me thing, and maybe if I played it every day, I would feel different. I just don't feel very confident in gunfights.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where we differ, and I understand that because like I also like I play Call of Duty with you,
Yeah.
and I don't care that I die, and I don't care that I didn't see where the guy was,
Yeah.
and I know that for you, even playing Overwatch and stuff with you, I know I don't know if competitive is the right word, but I know how analytical you are about the things, and like you want to know what mistake you made, and
Yeah.
I don't care so much. So that's where we differ in that. So I can see why it would be lower on your list because
Yeah.
I can at least understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So that part I get.
Yeah. Awesome. But no, it is a great game. I would, similar to you, like even I would never have guessed this game would have even made my top 10, like at all. At
Yeah.
all. All right, Josh, my number 4 is a game I played early in the year, and really enjoyed, despite one major drawback to it. And my number 4 is Split Fiction.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
this game, I kind of actually was worried I might forget about, to be totally honest. And mandatory co-op adventure game, or co-op action game, where you and your co-op partner, you're each authors. One writes sci-fi, one writes fiction, and then you are going off and evil corporations stealing our ideas, yada yada yada. From Hazelight, the people who made It Takes Two and all these other wonderful co-op games. And this game, the act of playing this game is so fun and so bonkers and so off the wall, and so but still so like tight,
Yeah.
that it's really hard for me not to have it this high on my list. With that being said, the story is pretty mediocre. The writing is not amazing. It's not great. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
But for me, it did not draw back. It did not detract from the experience of playing the game, especially with my partner, when we were able to like kind of like, oh, I wonder if this is going to be that. Like, right, we were able to kind of like
Yeah.
bounce off each other, and having the narrative not be at Shakespearean per se, was kind of part of like what bonded us over playing the game, right? And I don't think they did that on purpose,
Right.
but it's not enough to draw back from the game. And the last level of that game, I'm not going to say what it is. It like broke my brain, like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a game ever. Period.
Okay.
So like I said, there are some drawbacks there, but the experience of playing it, the gameplay, that last level easily kind of like counteracts the drawbacks for me. As a result, my number 4, Split Fiction.
Nice. Also on my short list, because we
Did
did
you
get
guys
to
finish
play.
it?
No, we got to play a good chunk, but we didn't get to finish it yet. We're on
Gotcha.
like the bomb disposal map part.
Oh, I just remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
I
we
remember
called
that.
it.
All right, Josh, what's your number 3?
Okay, my number 3. Again, talking about games I didn't think would ever be on my list.
Yeah.
Or this high. My number 3 is Ball Pit. I adore this game. I have finished every run with every character.
Oh my gosh, that's
I
amazing.
am into New Game Plus with every character. Even the character that you have to let play the game by itself. I was like, you're playing every map, and I'm taking someone with you.
Nice.
A game that just it constantly evolves and changes, and every change is great. Every evolution is great. I really didn't think I was going to like the town aspect of it, the town building for resources. I'm always changing how I have it set up. I have wheat fields in certain areas, and like all of my buildings are out, and it's just I'm just I just love everything they've done with it, adding these buildings that let you take 2 characters at once, and then the 2 characters that go out together change how each character works. It's wild. It really just for people who don't know, I'm just like talking generically about this game. It's essentially an old Atari game. It's like essentially why am I forgetting the name of it?
It's like a
uh,
ball breaker game.
yeah, not. It's like a. Oh, why can't I think of the name of that game?
Like Arkanoid?
Arkanoid. It's like Arkanoid. Sorry. Um, meets. Well, boy, I'm just having big old brain farts. Meets the game where you bounce the ball off the wall and hit the. Uh, oh my god, why can't I think of this? I feel like I'm having the world's
Are
biggest.
you not talking about Arkanoid
I
right now?
am, and then the other one. There's another game that's not Arkanoid, but it's the same like mechanics as Arkanoid. Anyways, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
walking on a map, a map that is moving with bad guys that are moving towards you, and you are a character with a ball. You're shooting a ball at these bad guys. As you kill them, you gain level ups, very much akin to Vampire Survivors, or even a Hades if you want, lightly Hades. But you're getting these perks
Breakout?
or boons. Breakout, thank you.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, I was
I
like, why
can't
is this
believe
not
I
coming to me? Yeah, yeah,
spaced on that.
yeah.
And as you're going through the maps, you're upgrading your balls. You're evolving them and fusing them together to create more powerful ones. And I even with all, I should look up how much time I have in ball pit, but all of the time I spent with it, you just, I'm always finding new things. Um, that I have 50 hours on ball pit.
Wow. Okay.
uh, and that's just on Steam. I've also played it a
Yeah.
bunch on Xbox. And every, 50 hours in, I'm still finding new ball, man. I know it sounds awful, but I'm still finding new evolutions. I'm finding new mixes. It's just so much fun. And every character is wildly different after you get past like the fifth character. Every character is like crazy different.
Hmm.
And they each interact with the world differently. And it creates new sets of challenges. And, uh, the amount of levels is perfect and they're all varying as far as the type of bad guys you run into. Just I could talk about it a lot longer and I won't. But really caught me by surprise. I played the demo. I really liked it, but I didn't see myself putting 50 plus hours
Yeah.
into it.
Um,
It's
I
great.
wanted to play this game more, but stupid Deep Rock Galactic just kept pulling me back in
Yeah,
because I really liked what I played of Ball Pit. It's just yeah, I kept choosing to play Deep Rock Galactic instead.
yeah, I get it. But boy, ball pit, man, it's so good.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Josh's number 3, Ball Pit. My number 3 is I think at the beginning of the year, I probably said that if I would had to have guessed that I would have said this was going to be my game of the year. But it's at
Okay,
my number 3, and that's Ghost of Yotei. Um,
nice.
I really loved my time with this game. I think that it is I prefer it to Ghost of Tsushima because I prefer the combat.
Yeah,
In this game, I like how varied it is. I prefer the different weapons compared to the stances because for whatever reason in my brain, that rock paper scissors I'm able to remember better than the stance changing for the weapons that happened in Tsushima. I like kind of the nods back to Tsushima, but oh, and man, not saying it shouldn't have won, but like the music in this game is
yeah,
so good.
yeah,
It is so good. And I just feel like when people talked about like the best music of the year, people just kind of skipped over this game constantly. And I'm like, I don't like the music in this game was so darn good. And for me, I think what really helped solidify how much I enjoyed this game is like obviously spoiler, Assassin's Creed Shadows, a game I played quite a bit, is not in my top 10.
yeah,
Story wise similar, area like stylized similar, like there's a lot of similarities that you and parallels you can draw between those two games,
yeah.
but like playing Ghost of Yotei, you realize how much having like a vision of what you want your game to be
Mm,
matters.
yeah,
And like all of the little things about like making the duels so feel so important, like the setting of that, the sound that goes with it, how you like frame those, like all of those things which seem they should be like kind of like not important in the context of playing the game make you feel so much more invested in like what is happening. And they just knocked it out of the park. I'm really looking forward to Legends. I really kind of enjoyed everything about this game. I really don't have any nits to pick with it.
Yeah,
I just enjoyed the other two games a little on my list a little bit more.
sure.
Um, that's about it. Like I don't know that there's anything Ghost of Yotei could have done to like supersede my number two and my number one. It is an exceptional game. I was happy to like when the platinum finished at 55 hours. I was not like sick of it. I was not done with it. I was not like, oh, finally I got this taken care of. It was great. Love my time with it. And the story pretty good. Emotional at times, like moving at times. Yeah, I don't really have anything negative to say. So Ghost of Yotei, my number three.
Great pick.
All right, Josh, it's your top two. I'm really curious to see what order I think these will be in if I'm right about what your top two games are, Josh. So, what's your number two game of the year?
Well, I will say that this has been the hardest decision I have had to make in any recent memory about how to pick which gets which in this situation.
I typed one. We'll
Uh,
see if I'm right.
yeah. Uh. So my number two is it just it I couldn't pick. I really couldn't. It really had to come down to uh replayability. So my number two is Clear Obscure Expedition 33.
I was wrong.
Uh, I guess it didn't just come down to that, but that was a big a weighing factor into
Yeah.
when I'm looking at these two games that I can't choose between. What game do I want to play right now? What game could I play
Hmm.
at any moment in time and
Yeah.
still get the same amount of enjoyment out of it?
Yeah.
And that ultimately lands Expedition 33 at number two. However, that also talking about things that could change in a year.
Sure.
It could change in a month. Um, uh, but boy, again, we talked about it so much.
Hmm.
I tried to jump back in to do the free DLC,
Oh yeah.
and I just needed to be. I was not in the emotional headspace to go back
Sure.
into that game.
Yeah.
I might not be for a while, so
Yeah.
we'll see how long it takes me to get back to it. But um, uh, just what a beautiful story! What a surprise!
Hmm.
What a reinvigoration to that genre for me!
Hmm.
Um, and and what a fresh also what a fresh take on a combat system that it kind of hasn't really been around consistently in RPGs. In
Yeah.
fact, like very few RPGs use that similar like type of battle system,
Hmm.
um, which goes back to some of my favorite RPGs like Lost Odyssey and Shadow
Hmm.
Hearts and these games that have very similar combat systems. So it really makes sense why I like this game so much. Um, just like a beautiful thing. Like, yeah, we don't have to keep talking about Expedition 33. The only thing I do want to say is I feel bad for it. It kind of got put into this scapegoaty martyrs type of situation for
Yeah.
independent game that they never asked to
Yeah.
be labeled as that. They like that was something that people did to it. And then
Yeah.
all these people who have to hate on something had to come out
Hmm.
and really just pick on this game that I just it's too bad they can't just celebrate and not have to tune things out. Like they should just
Right.
be able to celebrate their game because they deserve it. And boy,
Yeah.
like what a game it is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, uh,
I
for sure will be on my top five games of all time for a very long time.
Yeah, the hate around Clair Obscur is interesting because I think I found myself susceptible to it, but not because I don't think it was good, but just because it made things boring.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
Yes. Yeah.
so good
Yeah.
that like you could have a very legitimate argument that it is the best RPG, the best game of the year, the best voice acting, the best narrative, the best. Yes, you can
Yeah.
have a legitimate argument for all of those, and it's so good almost it becomes boring, right? It's like
Yeah.
which is not like that is like the worst criticism ever right? Against something, right? Like
Yeah.
but like I found myself susceptible to that of like, oh yep, here again the boring
Yeah.
pick of Clair Obscur. And it's only boring because it's so much better than so many other games.
Yeah. And everyone is picking it, so there's no
Right.
variety. Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, like I said, I understand people falling susceptible to that, but also like just think a little bit, people. Like I know it's not fun, it's not cool, it's not innovative, it's not in the sense of like picking like liking Claire Obscure is not like this niche thing, but it's a really, really good game. Like it just is. So
Yeah.
all right, Josh. Well, my number two is not a game that won a whole bunch of awards everywhere. In fact, it is a game that came and went, I think, very fast for most people. And though it reviewed really well, it just did not stick. But for whatever reason, these types of games are kind of like my catnip. Um, my number two is Sword of the Sea. S-
Oh,
Yeah, so Sword of the Sea came out back in August. It's from Giant Squid. Um, and Giant Squid probably most known for Abzu and the Pathless, but Matt Nava, the person who is the director on this game, worked on like Journey. But yeah, in this you are a dude who's you know skating on your sword
yeah,
across oceans of sand and other things. Um, something about these games, I don't know what it is, just they just jive with me. I don't know what it is or why. Like, I really like the Pathless too. I liked Abzu. I love Journey. Like just something about these kind of meditative, um, light exploration, short, like something about these experiences just really resonate with me. And I don't know that I can put my finger on why that is. But it's just something about this game just really kind of stuck in my brain after I played it. And every, a week later, I was like, God, that was really good. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, man, that game was really great. And it just kept building over all these months of the games. When I was thinking about like, what were like my, the things that sat with me, my favorite experiences, this game just kept climbing and kept climbing and kept climbing. And so much so it's still installed on my PlayStation. Like I still have, I
yeah,
beat it. I have full intent to go back and play it again and to kind of do like the full exploration. Maybe get a platinum. We'll see. One of the trophies is really hard apparently. But yeah, I just loved it. Austin Wintory does an amazing soundtrack for the game. Um, I think some people probably found it a bit pretentious. I can understand that, but you know
yeah.
what? Sometimes I like things that are a bit pretentious. So, I loved it. Sword of the Sea, my number two game of the year.
Awesome.
All right, Josh, that brings us down to our number ones, which I guess we probably know what yours is then, Josh. But tell us, what was your favorite game of
Yeah,
2025?
I think it's no surprise. 150 hours currently just on
Yeah,
Steam. Probably a few more on Switch too.
yeah,
Um, that's Hades 2. Uh, I think I think it's. I don't think I've ever put more time into a game besides the original Destiny
yeah.
than I have into a game. I don't even know what I can say. What can I say about this game? I adore it. I'm in love with it. I'm gonna get it tattooed on my body. uh, I I think it's so much better than Hades one that there's no way I couldn't put it as number one. Really, when I think about it on my
Yeah.
list, um, and I don't say that lightly. You know how much I love Hades.
Yep.
Uh, for me, and I could see maybe it doesn't feel this way for everyone because it definitely does change the combat style a little bit.
Mhm.
Hades 2 improves on Hades in every aspect of the game. It's
Mhm.
better looking. The story is stronger. The story is deeper. The boons are better. The
Mhm.
combat feels smoother. The movement is 10 times better.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just 150 hours in. I'm still getting new dialogue and I still have new things to
Yeah.
do, which is insane. And they do an interesting thing in this one where in Hades, the first Hades, you would have to go through the game um, many, many runs, which you still have to do in this, to
Mhm.
find variants of boss fights. Where in Hades 2, you find the variants in boss fights through the Stygian Mirror, which is where you do the challenges, which is like the
Mhm.
Inferno level from first Hades. So then now you're doing these things to try to um, fully close out your fates checklist. You
Mhm.
have to do this hard run where you're at full, like we'll say Inferno, full heat meter,
Mm-hmm.
where now each boss has another boss fighting with it from in the game that is not even related to the area sometimes, and they
Right.
work it into the story, and there's
Yeah.
story beats around it. And
Mm-hmm.
then the next time you run into that person when they're in their normal spot, they have
Mm-hmm.
conversations about you running with them with the other person.
Sure.
And leaving out spoilers
Yeah.
intentionally, but um, I love that every time I go into this game, there's something new to
Mm-hmm.
experience or do, even with this much time into it. And I'm never bored playing it.
Yeah.
And it's always kind of how you feel about some of the games on your list. Like it's never just like one run. It's like one more run, one
Yeah.
more run, one more. I can
Yeah.
do it. And then it's like, oh, it's like 3 a.m. Shoot. And I'm pausing it in the middle of a run because I didn't want to stop that run either. And I'm just
Yeah.
like falling asleep playing out of exhaustion, not boredom. Uh, I can't even think of a bad thing about this game. I love it to death. It's just it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just so good.
Josh, has Hades replaced Horizon for you as like your favorite game series?
I don't know. I haven't put a lot of time into it, thinking about it.
Yeah.
um, but it's pretty damn close, I
Yeah.
would say. Um, I still think Horizon is also a game I can always just jump into and
Sure.
have
Yeah.
fun just doing whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know, but I would have to think about on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean it's close.
Yeah. The one kind of criticism, I guess, or most common criticism I've seen against Hades 2, and spoilers, Hades 2 is not my number one. The only reason it's not on my list is I really, really started playing it like a week and a half ago. And I
Yeah.
just haven't played it enough. Again, in a year, I'm sure my list will look very different. Um, but kind of this idea that like, yes, they added all of this stuff, but to what end, right? Does like the farming actually make the game better, right? Like
Oh, right.
all these things that they added, it was just like they added things for the sake of adding things because it's a sequel and they had to.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you? Does that not resonate with you? How do you feel about that?
I understand that. I think that the farming part of it is just very minimalistic. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're barely managing it.
Yeah.
All you're doing is literally clicking a button. But I
Right.
understand it. There is a strategy in it because you can choose going forward what seeds you're trying to get,
Mm-hmm.
and it is important what you use them for. So I like that aspect of it. It also compels you to play more,
Mm-hmm.
to manage that aspect of it. But I don't think it's like overbearing. I think it's just fine for me. I actually like that it's a different distraction when you're back in
Mm.
your home area where it gives you something else to do. Because I could see it being tedious talking to all these people
Yeah.
every time if you're not invested in the story or
Right.
like the characters.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think you also have to be into Greek mythology to really
Sure.
like latch onto the game. But yeah, I mean that stuff didn't really bother me. I liked how they improved on the pet aspect of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and the weapons, the different aspects. I really like how they played with that, the chaos mirror, and all these things. Um, I yeah, and being able to have surface and below surface runs
Yeah.
really is a nice mix of things to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I like coming back and talking to my frog. That's nice.
Come back, talk to Frigos. I know his name, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I have my dog. My dog is my guy now. So Hecate always comes with me wherever I go, and not Hecate. Sorry. Oh, see, I'm already messing it up. Um, Harubi, I think. But anyways,
Gotcha.
yeah, it's just yeah. I could talk about it again forever, for
All right.
hours.
Josh is number one. Hades 2.
Yeah,
All right. At least with my number one, Josh.
yeah. What is it?
You
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah. So my number one game, a game that when I saw it introduced it originally, I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting. I have liked these types of games in the past. And then, if you go back in time, Tales from the Borderlands was one of my favorite games of the year that game came out. So I was
Yeah,
Not surprised I liked this game, but I was surprised at how much I liked it. My number one game of the year was Dispatch.
Nice.
I just adored this experience, everything about it, whether it was the story, whether it was the dispatching that you were actually doing. My only slight gripe was the hacking was a little annoying,
Yeah.
but that was so like how little I cared about that being slightly annoying was like minimal compared to how much I enjoy just being in this world, spending time with these characters. The sense of humor in this game, like I think humor in games is so hard to do, so I probably give extra more weight to a game when it does humor well than I probably should. And I thought
Yeah.
this game was hilarious, but there were still points of being very poignant and sad. And like I remember the end of one chapter, I was like, "Holy f!" Like I could
Yeah.
not. Like I need to play the next chapters like right now. And you know, traditionally with these games, I have waited until like all of the chapters were out, and then I would play them and see how it goes. But for this game, whatever reason, I played the first two chapters and was like, "Oh crap, now I have to wait?" And
Yeah.
but like for kind of the first time ever, like the day the chapters came out, I played them that day. Like ever for the 4 weeks that they came out, knowing they were gonna come out was really helpful too, because that's in the past why I tended to wait, because I was like, "I have to wait like 6 months for this. Like,
Oh
what am I
yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
do?" But the animation is amazing, the story is interesting, just some of the like the music and kind of the ways that a couple of those like kind of like group scenes were like cut together with the music, and just the story that it did was amazing. And are there nits? Like, sure, were the quick time events the best? No, though there were some really cool ones.
Yeah.
Um, the endings, like I know what all the endings are because I've gone and looked, and they are pretty different. How
I
you
should
get
tell
to
you what
them,
my ending was after.
yeah, we'll talk about our endings
Yeah.
after. But just like there are a lot of different things you can do, and different ways you can go, and yeah, I don't really have, like I said, other than the hacking, I don't really have any nits to pick with this game. I don't buy video game merch very often, and I have almost pulled the trigger on buying merch for this game like 3 times. And I think before this year is over, so within the next 2 days, I think will end up with some merch for this game because
Nice.
I loved it. I want more of it, whether it be another game, an actual comic, or something, a show, whatever. I like these characters, I like this world, um, and beef is best boy. So yeah, my number one game of the year, Dispatch.
Nice. Nice. It's funny. So my number two was your number eight, and your number one was my number seven.
Yeah, we're like right there. We're like right there. Yeah, and we only had 3 crossovers though.
Yeah.
So
Crazy.
between I mean, pretty diverse
Yeah, but
list
you had
between
a
the two of
yo-yo
us.
game. That doesn't count. That's a freebie.
Oh, Pipistrello. All right, Josh. Well, let's talk about just a couple other things here very briefly.
Yeah.
Because I think, do you have any other, and before we kind of get into some other things, do you have any honorable mentions or games that almost made your list that you just want to shout out real quick?
Yeah, yeah. I got a quick. I'll do my quick list. Outer Worlds 2. On my, I just, well, one, I don't like it as much as Outer Worlds, but
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. But I
Yeah,
just haven't put enough time into it. I'm really
sure.
enjoying my time with it. Sonic Racing Crossworlds on my short
Yeah.
list. Split Fiction, Clover Pit, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza,
I
Peak.
really thought Bonanza was going to be on your list.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be.
It's fun, but I don't know. There's not a lot of
Okay,
substance to it.
sure.
Peak, FBC Firebreak, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Lego Party, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Hell is Us, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. I put Borderlands 4 in here, but it doesn't have to be. Keeper, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and I did include Destiny 2 Renegades as a
Gotcha.
standalone game.
Yeah. I only have 3 that when I first wrote my list, there was a way more on it, but after I kept paring it down and paring it down and paring it down, there was only 3 other games that almost made the list.
Okay.
Um, they were Hades 2, again,
Yeah.
just not there because of time. Absalom, again, great
Yeah.
game. You talked about it, had a fabulous time with it, but would have wanted to spend more time in it. And Luminous Arise. Luminous is such a good puzzle game. I love puzzle games. Man, do I suck at Luminous. I'm so bad at it. But darn if this is not a great version of Luminous. So if you like Luminous, or if you like Tetris Effect, Luminous Arise is amazing. So you should have to
Nice.
check it out. All right, Josh. Are there any games you didn't finish but you wanted to, in the sense of like, hey, I think these might have had a chance for actually making my list if I had actually finished them?
Yeah, the Outer Worlds 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Um, um, Hell is Us, I think, is a real strong contender. I'm really enjoying my time with that
Yeah.
game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 also would be a game I think that might have a chance if I played
Mm-hmm.
it. And I'm sure there's other games I'm not thinking of that I never got to.
Yeah.
But those are like the big ones that are on top of my mind.
Yeah. I think for me, games I didn't finish, but I want like actually our lists are very similar to there. Hell is Us,
Yeah,
and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I have started both those games, but have nowhere near enough time in them,
yeah.
to be able to make a good, um, yeah, a good like decision as to whether or not they would have made my list. So, um, yeah, I wish I would have had more time. Those are the biggest two for me
Okay.
though. Any games that you think would have, kind of taking this to the extreme, then a game you're like, hey, this probably would have been on my top 10, but I just never even played it. You're like, but if I had, hey, I bet you would have made my top 10. Any game that you can think of there?
I'm trying to think of games that people said were great um, that I didn't play, and I think I've tried at least most of those games. So no, I don't think so.
Gotcha. The only one I think maybe would have made my list, and I feel bad that I haven't played it yet, but everyone says it's super good. And I have just never played it. And that's Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Oh, yeah,
Would it have made my list, Josh?
I'm so curious what your reaction to that game will be.
Yeah. I haven't installed. I just have not
Yeah.
played it. So yeah, because that, and then man, I don't think it would have. But I mean, I'm kind of surprised, maybe not surprised, that neither one of us played Silk Song. I feel like that's kind of
Wow.
like one of the other. It's not really up either
It
of our
seems it's
alleys.
more of a you game than me, but
It
yeah.
is more of a me game, and is on just transparently is harder than I would want it to be. Right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
so
I tried to like Hollow Knight. I really did. I gave it a good few hours
yeah,
and
and I
I
try.
just hated
Yeah, I
it.
tried it with Hollow Knight as well. I just could not get into it at all. Like it just was not a thing that
Yeah.
I could get into.
So
So
that's right. You heard it here first. I hate Breath of the Wild and Hollow Knight.
that's we have a yeah, we have a brand. I think that's what it is. We like really good we dislike good games. But hey, give me the Eat Rock Galactic Survivor all day.
That's right.
Um any big disappointments, Josh? Any games you played that you're like, nope, this just is not for me?
Yeah, I mean, South of Midnight was a pretty big disappointment for me, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, honestly, that's my pick too. But
Yeah,
aside from the music, I think the music in that game is incredible. I think the voice acting is very good.
yeah,
But the act of actually playing the game to me was just disappointing. So that's really too bad.
yeah, agreed.
Was there a game that you liked that no one else seemed to like?
Probably.
I mean, I feel like for you, like in looking at your top 10, I think Lost in Random: The Eternal Die is like the game that I have heard no one else talk about.
But I don't think that they said anything negative about
I
it,
would
right?
agree. I would agree. That's very true.
I think maybe like a game like FBC Firebreak could probably fit that.
Yeah, actually, now that you said that, I think that would probably be your one. Yep. Yep.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love the time we spent with that game.
Yeah. I think my game I like that others didn't seem to, honestly, is Mafia: The Old Country. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
that game.
I tried to play it. I don't know what you saw in that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought linear narrative and story game. So here is I think sometimes you just have to be in the right like headspace.
Yeah,
I feel I had just played through like the other Mafia games, so I kind of knew like what I was getting into.
yeah,
And it really kind of fit that for me, right? Like it wasn't anything more or less than I expected it to be. Kind of mediocre combat with a relatively reasonable story that was well voice acted, right?
yeah.
And that's pretty much what it was. Um, so yeah, I think I just maybe went into it with a quote unquote right expectations. I'm not saying the game's like a 10. I think it is a 7, but I just really
Yeah,
enjoyed it. It was a game I loved much more than how good it is.
yeah.
So, any games that others seem to like that you did not?
Oh, plenty. That's my thing, right?
I know that I know we already talked to
Yeah, I mean, obviously Silk Song, obviously any Souls games.
but I say, but maybe a game you actually played.
Oh, that I played?
Yes.
A game that I didn't like that I played that everyone
Yeah,
seemed to
that
like?
everyone else seemed to like.
Oh boy, I don't know. I don't. I'm trying to think of any games I got this year that I didn't like.
So here's
Um,
I will throw mine out and maybe this will help. So
yeah.
especially knowing what my number 2 game of the year is, the fact that this game just did not jive with me, I think is really, really interesting because I also have liked their other games. And that's Keeper.
Oh,
I,
okay. I liked Keeper.
yeah, I thought the game was beautiful, but for whatever reason, it just did not jive with me. I was not a fan of the experience. I really, really wanted to like it, and I just was not feeling it. So yeah, that was the one that, and I think it reviewed really well. I think generally people really liked it.
Yeah,
I just, yeah, it did not grab me. So mine would be Keeper.
that's fair. I don't know that I necessarily have one in mind. Um, maybe I blanked them all out. I can't think of like a game I played that I didn't enjoy too much.
No, that's fine.
Um, I'm sure one exists though.
Yeah, awesome. Grab bag. Anything else you want to mention? Anything else that any standout moments? Any music you want to shout out? Anything else that you want to be like, hey, this was really cool, um, or I really enjoyed this in gaming this year.
Uh, no, no, I don't know. No, I think we covered most of it.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Um, anything you're looking forward to in 2026?
Boy, you know what, I'll say, you know what I'm really looking forward to? Seeing what the heck happens with Microsoft in 2026. I'm just
Yeah,
so curious what's going to happen to them.
yeah,
Um, but man, if they keep pushing out Crocs and toasters and
yeah,
ugly controllers
yeah.
all year again, I don't know. I'm just is Game Pass enough to keep me? I don't know if it is. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to a price on the Steam machine.
Yeah.
It's really something I think that we might add to this household, which
Okay,
could replace the Xbox.
sure.
Um, I'm looking forward to, well, if you keep the Xbox in mind, I'm looking forward to what the heck is going to happen with Forza and Fable.
Yeah,
Um, I
and
would really
Halo
like to see
and
some proof of
Gears.
life on Fable because I could see them canceling that. Um, I don't
You don't think
know.
they're going to cancel Fable, do you?
Listen, they've done stupider things. But we're what 10 years in and no gameplay now at this point. Maybe we've
I mean, there was
seen.
some gameplay, some very like
I don't know that that was
short.
gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where Forza is. I'm interested to see the release date for window for PlayStation versus Xbox on that.
Hmm.
I'm really curious about that. Um, it might sound weird, but I'm not really looking forward to Wolverine. I'll play it,
Oh,
but it's not something I'm going like. It doesn't look like it's breaking any barriers for
sure,
gaming.
sure.
It's like
Yeah, I don't think that it is.
Spider-Man Days Gone. Like, okay,
Yeah,
cool. Let's see how it plays.
yeah. I think as far as like my quote unquote most anticipated games, like I would not put Wolverine high on the list, but
Yeah,
as far as games I will most definitely
we'll
play.
certainly play it. Yeah,
Yeah. Um. Do you? We actually. I mean, obviously, we have not podcasted since the Game Awards or anything like that.
yeah.
Do you have like of the things that are announced for next year? Do you have things that you're like most? What would be the things you're most anticipating?
I don't. I haven't really put a lot of thought into what's coming out next year. I like the Game Awards. I don't remember half. I don't remember anything that happened
Sure. Yeah.
during
It was a
it,
while ago.
but I liked it for the most part. I'm not like super losing my mind over Grand Theft Auto. I could care less.
Hmm.
I'll play it because it's probably going to be groundbreaking for video
Sure.
games.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. But do you have something, and maybe I'll like latch onto what
I mean,
you're
I have a
looking
few
forward
things
to?
that I'm looking forward to for certain. In no particular order. I am okay. Let me ask you this before I get to my.
Oh, Resident
Where are
Evil.
you on
I'm looking
Resident Evil
forward to that.
Requiem?
Yeah, Resident Evil. I'm very excited to play this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious to see. I love Village because it was a departure
Yeah.
from Resident Evil, so I'm curious where Requiem is going to be in that like gameplay style.
Yeah. When it comes to things I'm excited about, like obviously Saros, which is now
Yes,
coming out in
Saros,
April
yes.
instead of March. But follow up to Returnal. Looking forward to that for certain. I'm curious about if Pragmata is going to be as good as everyone's saying it's going to
It looks
be.
so bad.
People who play it, they'll love it, and I think there is a
Yeah.
demo, so you can definitely try it out.
Okay.
I am pretty excited actually about 007 First Light. Maybe I shouldn't be, but maybe I am. Um, I love the Lego games, so Lego Batman, Legacy of the Dark Knight.
Yeah, we're
Um,
looking at the same list at this point. Yeah. Yes, I agree. I am cautiously optimistic on James Bond.
yeah,
I
but
do
there
think
is
Lego
one
Batman looks
thing,
great.
yeah. There's one thing though, Josh, that after the Game Awards jumped to my most anticipated game,
Okay.
and that's because its initial entry is one of my top 10 favorite games of all time, and that's Control Resonant.
Oh, yes, man. Wow. What a cool trailer too.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see how they how we get what these new powers are going to be like for the brother.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Final little thing, Josh, that I thought was interesting. So as I've been, wrapping up the year and playing some games, I at some point I was like, I am really desiring a linear narrative game. Just
Mm.
like I've been playing a lot of like really big open world stuff and a lot of like really short, indie stuff, and which are great. But I was like, I love me a good linear narrative game. And last year this little game came out that I didn't like as much as most people did. Um, so I didn't get super far in it, and that's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Oh, okay.
So I said, sure, you know what, we'll try it again. Maybe we'll see. Uh, and I tweaked some of the settings as far as like some of the difficulties of things.
Yeah.
Um, and gosh darn it, Josh, that's a great little game.
Okay.
I'm really surprised. I am liking it quite a bit more. I think what I really didn't like about it when I played it originally, and obviously this is just general stuff, but like, um, I hated the fact that like I didn't think the stealth was very good, and then if you got caught, like the combat was just so hard to like fight off like 6 fascists or 8 fascists.
Yeah.
So I tweaked it that just slightly, where like as I still try very very hard to stealth things, but that if things go south, like I can just punch my way out if I really need to.
Yeah.
And that has drastically improved my enjoyment of the game. Like I'm now much further than I ever got when I played it before. Um, so yeah, I don't know, like hey, and also like they're like when Troy Breaker got nominated for acting again, I was like I probably really should go back to that game, and yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. So there you
Okay.
go. Sometimes it's just that state of mind when you're playing the game, and sometimes you give games a second chance. They just hit a little better. So with that, we'll move towards wrapping up the
Rounding it up.
podcast. And we're going to give you some recommendations for a well-rounded life. Obviously, we're a gaming podcast, but we're going to give you one other recommendation, suggestion, or thing we're currently into as helping us live a well-rounded life. Josh, what is your recommendation this week?
I didn't have anything. I was gonna be a real Debbie Downer about it. But uh Kumail Nanjiani has a new special. It's on
Yeah, he
Hulu.
does.
It's called Night Thoughts, and it's very good. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, it's mostly good. There's some things that I was a little like cringy, but I think if you know Kumail and his humor, you can kind of roll with it. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, I thought it was great. I really like him a lot. I'm glad to see him doing stand up again, and he has some fun jokes about his Marvel experience and the state of his body and how it is
Yeah.
and things like that. And I really enjoyed it. So yeah, Kumail Nanjiani, Night Thoughts on Hulu.
Awesome. My recommendation is a documentary called The Hobby: Tales from the Tabletop. This is on Amazon Prime, and it is a documentary about hobby board gaming. This has been kicking around for a while. I think it was like South by Southwest in like 2024, maybe. So this has been around for a while, kind of like seeking distribution and all that good stuff. And it's pretty telling because I think a lot of the uh, video is from like 2022, I think,
Okay.
maybe 2023. So it's a little bit some older stuff, but it really just is like kind of highlighting some stories in the industry, and it talks to some of the people you'd expect, your Tom Vassals of the world, your Eric Langs of the world, but also some people maybe that you wouldn't expect, including a guy who's starting a Kickstarter for a game that like it funds, but like it's a game that is like not even has enough ratings on Board Game Geek at this point, even to like be rated on Board Game Geek, right?
Yeah.
Like, so kind of all of that. Elizabeth Hargrave is in it, like a lot of different things. The World Series of Board Gaming. So it's a really interesting look at the hobby, people involved in the hobby. I think the challenge is I don't know that I learned anything new. And unless you really don't know anything about board games, I don't know that you're going to necessarily learn anything super, super new.
Mm.
But what is kind of interesting is that one of the interviews they do is with Tai Win, who is a professor of philosophy at Utah State or Southern Utah University. Anyway, his book, Games Agency as Art, was actually the basis for my doctoral dissertation.
Oh,
So that
nice.
actually was kind of interesting seeing him interviewed. It's like, hey, I know who that is. I read his book that he's talking about. But the documentary overall is solidly done. So if you have any interest in learning more about the tabletop industry from the hobby perspective, check out The Hobby, Tales from the Tabletop on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
All right, Josh, what do you say we wrap this show up?
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. In addition to finding us on Instagram at Board with Fiji, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/boardwithfiji. So feel free to give us a 5-star rating over there. Also, if you want to communicate in the more long form or you're just not feeling social media, please feel free to email us at boardwithfiji@gmail.com. We tag our stuff when we do, if we do, with hashtag boardwithfiji, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. If you had board games you're playing or things you're playing on video games, tag us with hashtag boardwithfiji so we can see what you're up to. In whatever podcast service you're listening to us on, we encourage you to give us a stellar rating. That is whether you're downloading us from the Dice Tower Network feed or our very own standalone Board with Video Games feed. You can find me on all the things at Why So Serious. That's SIRRIUS. Kyle, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, Board Game Geek, all at Psychocross, CYCOCROSS. As always, if you have suggestions for future topics, be sure to reach out to us on the social media because we want to talk about what you want to hear about. And hey, you know what? We might be back a little sooner than we typically are. So who knows? Maybe you want to let us know some things we should talk about. But with that being said, remember everyone, whether it be board games or video games, never stop gaming.